What happens when a manager stands in front of cameras, heart shattered, yet refuses to let disappointment define his team's legacy? John Schneider just delivered one of the most emotional press conferences in Blue Jays history, and what he revealed about this roster will make you see the 2025 season in a completely different light. This isn't just about a World Series loss, this is about something far bigger that's brewing in Toronto. Hello, Jays Nation. Welcome to Blue Jays News Today, your go-to spot for the latest Toronto Blue Jays updates. Have you ever watched a manager fight back tears while celebrating his team's character, even in defeat? Because that's exactly what John Schneider just gave us. And honestly, it might be the most important message Blue Jays fans have heard in years. Before we dive into the raw emotion and stunning revelations from this press conference, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss a single update from the most passionate Blue Jays community on YouTube. John Schneider stood before the media following the Blue Jays World Series loss to the Dodgers. And what poured out wasn't just disappointment, it was pure, unfiltered love for his team. The series went the distance, with 2 games extending into extras, showcasing baseball at its finest. But here's what most people will miss. Schneider didn't focus on the loss. He focused on something that transcends championships. He said thank you 10 times. And in those 2 words repeated again and again, he revealed the foundation of what might be the most special Blue Jays team in a generation. Let's talk about what actually happened in this series. The Blue Jays played elite baseball against a Dodgers team that many called Goliath. Schneider's response? It's not even close. He put his 26 players against anyone on the planet, and he meant it. This wasn't false bravado. This was a manager who watched his team have chances to sweep one of baseball's most dominant franchises. They had bases-loaded situations with exactly who they wanted at the plate. Ernie Clement with runners on second and third. Alejandro Kirk when contact was needed. These weren't lucky bounces. These were earned opportunities that came within inches of changing Blue Jays history forever. Here's where it gets fascinating, and this is something that separates good teams from legendary ones. Schneider revealed that this group genuinely likes one another and genuinely cares about one another. He wasn't talking about surface-level clubhouse chemistry. He was talking about wives, kids, families, a bond that extends far beyond the diamond. How rare is that in professional sports? When was the last time you heard a manager say that Blue Jays fans for generations will remember not just what this team accomplished, but how they went about it? That's not typical post-game rhetoric. That's a manager who knows he had something special. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the performances that will haunt and inspire in equal measure. Bichette's home run to center field on the first pitch after Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was intentionally walked. Schneider called it so fitting and compared it to George Springer's Canada Day moment. For a player who battled back from injury, playing on what Schneider described as one leg, that swing represented everything this team embodied. It wasn't enough to win the championship, but it was a signature moment that defines what this core is capable of when everything clicks. And speaking of Vlad, here's something that should make every Blue Jays fan excited about the future. Schneider mentioned they have 14 more years of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing complete baseball. Did you catch that? He made 3 terrific defensive plays in the final game, doubled in the 11th inning, and if the result had flipped, he would have been World Series MVP. This wasn't just a good postseason for Vlad. This was an evolution, the kind of two-way dominance that transforms good players into generational talents. Then there's Ernie Clement, who set a postseason record with 30 hits, 30, against some of the best pitching in baseball, facing right-handers and left-handers with equal success. Schneider called it historic, and he's right. This is a player who many dismissed as a waiver wire pickup, someone who kicked around the minors. But Schneider sees what the numbers prove. Clement turned himself into an everyday major leaguer who will contribute to winning a world championship. Notice he said will, not could. That's confidence in the trajectory this organization is on. Max Scherzer's performance deserves its own conversation. At 41 years old, still throwing 96 miles per hour, making pitches in the biggest moments, Schneider had no one he trusted more. Whether this was Scherzer's final game or not, it exemplified what this team was built on: veteran leadership combined with young hunger. The chemistry between established stars and emerging talent created something that statistics alone can't capture. Here's what makes this loss different from others in Blue Jays history. Schneider acknowledged the tough breaks, balls hit hard, finding gloves, defensive gems from the Dodgers, close calls that didn't go their way. But he never blamed luck. He never made excuses. Instead, he focused on what this team proved. They belong on the biggest stage. They played defense brilliantly. They created opportunities. They performed under immense pressure. The gap between winning it all and coming up short isn't as wide as people think, and that's actually encouraging for what's ahead. When Schneider said this feels like a team people will ask about 10 or 15 years from now, he wasn't being nostalgic, he was being prophetic. This group set a new expectation and standard for Blue Jays baseball through hard work and cohesiveness. They showed that the franchise can compete with anyone when the foundation is right. Yes, it hurts now. Schneider admitted it'll hurt for weeks. But the beauty of baseball is that spring training comes in February, and this core isn't going anywhere. John Schneider didn't just lose a World Series, he revealed that the Blue Jays have built something that transcends one season's outcome. So here's the question Jays Nation needs to answer. Are you ready to believe that this team's best days are still ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe in where this franchise is headed, smash that like button and subscribe to Blue Jays News Today. Hit the notification bell, because this story is far from over, it's just beginning. Let's go Blue Jays!